here at Meroxa, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get set up using Notion as a resource in your Turbine application. So the first thing you're going to do is set up your Notion integration. I've went ahead and created an internal integration. If you want a public integration, you can go ahead and do so over here. You can convert your internal integration to a public one, and there are a few more steps to follow. We'll have linked out to our documentation, but you create your integration. You want to go ahead and ensure that the integration has access to the pages that you want to be synced over to your Turbine application. So I have a blog post here, and for an internal integration, you'll just click the three dots in the top right. You'll go over here to add connections, and you'll just add the connection you've created. So I have the Meroxa integration, which is this integration here. And of course, if you want to use a public integration, whoever is utilizing your integration has the ability to go ahead and just decide whether or not they want to integrate the integration with various pages, workspaces, etc., to provide access. So I already went ahead and set this up. I'll copy the integration token. Again, if you're using a public integration, you want to copy the access token that you retrieve from the Notion API, and you create your resource in the Meroxa CLI. So you can do that by doing Meroxa resources create. Mine is called company Notion. You want to pass in the type as Notion and the token as the access token that you retrieve from Notion. So I already went ahead and did that. And then you can go ahead and write a Turbine app around it. So I have a source connector, which is a Notion connector, and we go ahead and read the records from it. We process the records by getting the plain text field from the JSON and extracting the character count from it. And then we'll go ahead and write that into the metadata and then write it out to a file in S3. So I have an S3 resource that's already set up as well. This is the destination for the Turbine app, and I've set it up here. This is just a demo S3 resource that I have created, and we can see that it is an empty bucket. There's no objects in it right now. So the next thing you do is you go ahead and commit your code. I've already done that as well. And then you'll go ahead and deploy it to the Meroxa platform by doing Meroxa apps deploy. So this is just going to take a bit of time to go ahead and build your code and upload it to the Meroxa platform. We also have the capability of having dedicated environments for your applications, and we can see that it's building. So it's going to take a bit of time to deploy, as well as get all of the various components of the application up and running. But the nice thing here is that we're not just moving data from Notion to S3. This is not just a data migration tool. This is a stream processing platform. So the nice thing is that you're able to actually, if you can see this character count method above, you're able to write any code around your sources and destinations in your Turbine application. So theoretically, I could be calling APIs, I could be calling other services that my code base interacts with to enrich my information, to do really anything you want to do with it. So it is pretty powerful to be able to quickly stand up this stream processing application, but without the mental overhead of managing the infrastructure around Apache Kafka and stream processing in general. So pretty neat approach to stream processing, and we offer the Turbine SDK in different languages. So you're able to use Python, Go, JavaScript, as well as Ruby recently added. So we can see that the application was deployed. So it took a little bit of time to go ahead and get everything stood up. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the dashboard. Oh, actually, I'm in the wrong tab. This is a different user. Just open it from here. And while the app is up and running or deploying, we can see the status of everything as it's getting stood up. So currently it's in a pending state. So we're just going to go ahead and wait here for about a minute or two to see all of the, not only the components to get stood up initially, but to actually get the function up and running so that we can go ahead and process the data. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait here for a minute and let's see. So now we can see the function is up and running. We have the source connector up and running. We have the destination connector up and running. So now that everything is in a running state, all we really have to do is just wait to see our data in the S3 bucket. So it's also going to take a bit of time to get this going. And the connector, the source connector by default operates every minute. So it is running every minute. That is what we currently have as the default for the Notion connector. Of course, 1 minute may be too slow for various database engines as a source connector, but for Notion, we think it's pretty reasonable default. So because of that, once again, the time that the source connector gets started, it can take a minute from there to actually get up and running. So we'll just go ahead and give that time. Cool. So we got our data. We can see that we have Notion pages with character count as the folder. And if we go inside, we see our two files that are correlated with our two pages. So I've shared this blog post page with the integration as well as this brainstorm post. Both of these are templates, default templates from Notion. So let's go ahead and take a look at the data. So let me quickly download this. So if I download it, we can see that it is downloaded to my desktop, and I can gzip -d. Okay, and now we can just open this in VS Code. And then we're just gonna wanna format the document. So we can see that this is the brainstorm document right here, and we have the character count. We also have the entirety of the plain text. It might be easier if I use word wrap here, but we can see that the entirety of the Notion page is in the plain text field. Metadata has metadata, and look at me, I've added the character count to it. So this is how to utilize Notion as a resource on the platform, and hope this was helpful. Please let us know if you want other connectors added to the platform, other resources. We are absolutely happy to go ahead and add them, and let us know how you find Turbine. Happy coding. Take care. That's all.